The Witcher 3 is, in my opinion, one of the greatest RPGs to date. CD Projekt Red has crafted a believably lived-in world where quests, characters, and storylines feel very organic. Everything seems to matter, and the simplest and smallest quest has impact in a way that most games don't do. But, while I could go on and have no issues recommending The Witcher 3, most people who do have an issue with the game all have the same complaint: the combat. So let's draw our silver blade and charge up Quen. It's time to defend. The Witcher 3's combat is usually criticized for complexity and fluidity. At its core, controlling Geralt isn't too dissimilar to controlling Batman. You have your attacks, dodging, and parrying that follow the basics refined in Rocksteady's Arkham series. But where they differ is Batman will build upon those basics with gadgetry, and Witcher 3 frontloads almost all of it. And it adds more to it. There's a heavy attack to mix up your light attacks, a block and deflection to go alongside your parry, and a sidestep to complement dodges. And this is all just the basic combat, so it's understandable if this became overwhelming. But honestly, it's also all very simple. Like I said, it's building off the basic mold of these other action games. So, while there's more buttons at play, the concepts are simple. Circle sidesteps most attacks, but if it's a doozy, hit X to roll out of the way. Hold the left trigger to block, tap it to parry. It's still very intuitive, and unlike something like Batman, there isn't any of the control gymnastics between mixing up what attacks or gadgets work on certain enemies and remembering the different button combos for said gadgets. Yes, Geralt has a crossbow, but its usage was sparing and not part of your typical combat mix-ups. Now, like I said, there is more to the combat. Geralt is a Witcher after all, so he does have his magical signs to cast things like fire and protection. And while this is also available from the start, this is also not too complicated. Now, I will say the game isn't quite forthright with the info on utilizing these abilities correctly, things like using Yarden so that you can actually hit a Night Wraith. But they are also something that you're not swapping between often. It's more so prep and slight usage when hunting all these monsters. Speaking of prepping, there are many potions and bombs you can craft, but honestly, having put over hundreds of hours into the main game and expansions, I could probably count on one hand how many times I felt compelled to do much with that system. It's a very useful system, just not necessary. So really, in conclusion, yes, The Witcher 3 has a lot going on, but I've never felt the combat ever got much more complicated than most other action games that share similar setups besides, me being more patient with some harder encounters. Options allow a little bit more freedom to play more to your style and enjoy a fantastic world while you're at it.